So my name is Giselle Thomas. Some may know me as Fawn. I'm the owner of Thingsforthespirit. Grew up in Tacoma, Washington, graduated from Lincoln High School, and yeah.
Awesome. Take us to the beginning of your spiritual journey.
Okay. So I was heavily raised around church, actually. My mom's a preacher's kid. So yeah, in and out the church a lot, first service, second service, third service, and even Sunday school all in one day. Yeah. So lots of church upbringing. And then I also grew up in a haunted house. So that exposed me a lot to a lot of spirituality, But my first taste of spirituality, I would have to say, has really been since I was a kid. I've always had a connection with God. I always felt like there's something deeper when it comes to having a relationship with God. So, yeah.
I love that. Yeah. Tell me about the haunted house. How was that? How did you know it was haunted?
Man, how did we not? That was the thing. It was like lights turning off and on. You'll be hearing moaning and groaning, and walk past TV or turn on. We'd be leaving out the house. My mom would tell me she'd see my TV on from outside, and she'd be like, you need to go turn the TV off. So go run inside the house to go turn the TV off, and it was already off. So stuff like that would happen. But my granny, who is the first lady, she was my mom's mom, but also married to my granddad, who was the pastor. So her spirit, my mom would always say her spirit was there to protect us, and protect us from the ghosts and whatnot. But around that time, I was like 8 years old. So very sensitive to stuff, and, being a kid and being around ghosts and whatnot, like you're very sensitive. So was very interested in that. But my mom was like, don't be too interested in it, and make sure, that you're keeping a strong connection with God. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So then take me through high school. What was high school like?
High school, I would have to say high school was kind of an eye-opening experience for me. I met a friend, her name's Shy. I met my best friend Shy around the time, and she was spiritual herself. So she kind of gave me guidance when it came to where that interest was, was kind of residing at. So her and her mom were very spiritual, she was very much into herbs and crystals and whatnot. So they kind of just taught me about that and taught me how to tap more into my spirit, we would always have spiritual conversations, ghost stories, just random stuff, like what kids would do. But when I got into college, that's more around the time I started diving deep into crystals, Crystals taught me how to heal physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And also being mindful, basically when you have a crystal, the intentions that you hold, that crystal is going to basically magnify that. So, crystals basically were the beginning to my spirituality journey, basically.
Yeah. What grounded you into this?
Yeah.
Awesome. What are some of your favorite crystals?
My favorite crystals will be rose quartz, because that connects with your heart chakra. I'm very empathic, so I have my emotions are always, open. So that helps me a lot when it comes to the relationships that I have, relationships I have with myself and the relationships I have with others, and, balancing out the love and the energy that I have within them. Lapis lazuli, that's another one that I like. Also with amethyst, those two are crystals that are good for protection, spiritual protection. So lapis lazuli taps into your third eye, and then amethyst taps into your chakra, your crown chakra. So those two have to do with you being intuitive and seeing your purpose, knowing your purpose in life, but then also your connection with God too. So those two crystals definitely help in those areas for me.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, okay, high school, you had that planted the seed. Then college, you started to nourish the seed. Mm-hmm. And then when did you go into business for this?
I went into business a little bit after, I would say, my college era, around like my early 20s. I was wearing waist beads and making jewelry for myself. And then my friends were just like, hey, that's really cool jewelry. What do you use that for? And I was telling them, this is just jewelry that I like to wear that balances out my chakras or helps with this and that and the third. And so they would tell me, like, hey, you think you can make me something, something that might help me? And so I would talk with them and figure out, something that could help them spiritually. And then, I'd work on it and they'd buy it from me. So I started selling waist beads, and then waist beads turned into bracelets and anklets, and then it went to teas. And so ultimately everything that I was using to, help myself and better myself, that I started selling to my friends. So, yeah.
That's awesome. What are some herbs that you really advocate for?
Herbs that I advocate for, it would be dandelion root, licorice root, a lot of roots, honestly, because they ground you, they ground your molecular system as well. So they definitely aid in a lot of health conditions too. So dandelion root, valerian root, licorice root, ashwagandha root, lots of different roots. Yeah. But herbs too, I would say red clover, dandelion leaf, peppermint. Yeah.
When did you become vegan?
Actually, I'm vegetarian.
Oh, vegetarian.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you become vegetarian?
I became vegetarian as of September 2022. So very recent. It's been a big goal for me. But yeah, it's been a really good journey. I feel a lot better health-wise, and even when it comes to meditating a lot, like it feels a lot easier in the sense and not as heavy because, you had mentioned fasting earlier. Before you even like meditate, sometimes it's good to fast because when you fast, you're able to receive downloads a lot easier, because whatever you eat, you have to make sure that vibration, whatever you're taking in, is going to be, a positive vibration. Or if you don't eat, you drink a lot of water holds vibration too. So, it's basically helping you increase and raise your vibration. So when you meditate, you can get more downloads.
So what were some of the reasons you went vegetarian?
I wanted to make sure that I'm taking whatever is best for not only my body, but for my spirit as well. What you eat not only changes you on a molecular level, but it also changes how you think and, how you feel. So I wanted to make sure that how I felt, what I'm speaking, what I'm thinking, all that, and then some is on the highest vibration possible. I'm still getting there because, I love me some cheese, but, everything takes time. But definitely with the changes that I have made, there has been a lot of benefits. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the phrase, you are what you eat?
I strongly believe that you are what you eat. If you are eating fruits and vegetables, you're eating life, you're eating positive vibrations. If you're eating, meat, dead meat, then you're eating the energy that it basically released when it was killed, or, the lifestyle that it had lived. That energy, you're going to be partaking in it when you eat that. So that's negative energy that you'd be eating. So I strongly believe that you are what you eat. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, we need to eat more light.
Yes.
Things that have to deal with light.
Yes.
Yeah. What is Reiki?
Reiki. So Reiki is where I ultimately remove stagnant energy from the body and I replace it with love and healing light.
Yeah. When did you get into Reiki?
Last year, which is weird because with me being intuitive and stuff, I've had dreams of me doing this, or I've had like moments where I was doing Reiki and I didn't even know it. I wasn't able to channel Reiki at the time because you have to have, you have to have a master basically open up your chakras so you can channel that energy, but you can still move energy even if your chakras aren't open to it. You can still, everyone has the capability to move energy. So I would always do that, but I didn't know like there's more depth to that. So yeah. Yeah, it's been about almost a year and I love Reiki. It's definitely shown me a lot. Yeah, it's exposed me more, to the spiritual world. So I really love it. Yeah.
What are some benefits of Reiki?
Benefits would be releasing trauma, releasing anxiety, releasing stress. Also it helps with health conditions. Reiki, there's Reiki centers now in hospitals. A lot of doctors still can't explain Reiki. They don't know the science behind it, but throughout the evolution of Reiki masters and Reiki practitioners, working with people with health conditions, there was a time where doctors like, this is seeming to work for patients. So let's just start a Reiki center. So you'll find Reiki centers in some hospitals and it helps people with cancer, different diseases, different health conditions. So, yeah.
Are there any crystals or anything that you use to help with Reiki?
Yes, selenite. Selenite is a very, very good utensil to use when you're using Reiki. So selenite is basically a mineral. And sometimes you'll see them come in long wands. And so at the end of Reiki sessions, a lot of Reiki masters will use selenite. And it's a mineral that can either cleanse but also charge crystals. So when we use it in Reiki, we're using it to basically cleanse the energy that we removed from one's body. So that energy is no longer in them, but energy doesn't die. It only transfers, so it's still within the air. It's still there. So we use that Reiki tool to cleanse the energy so that way it can, go back to the universe and be cycled through. So, yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.